Some more of the same, Charlie. Well?
Now, here he is, a man of God, living in a world of Disney.
Ow, Charlie!
Charlie Simons.
Charlie bit me.
I'm Charlie Simons. This is Do Not Talk. I'm live at the Spring California Republican Convention down in San Diego. We found a nice big empty hallway that's all loud and really bad lighting. And I said, that's perfect. Let's do the show there. And I've got a couple of vets here with me. One is Mark Reed from the Marine Corps. There. And Major Rudy RECILE from the U.S. Army. Okay, I have a problem.
What's right?
I'm developing a complete distrust and dislike of my own California Republican Party. I'm a delegate. They've done so many, I've seen so much infiltration from people literally flat out on the left. I'm seeing them trying to erode and get rid of things that make Republicans. What makes us Republicans? They're taking it away as quickly as possible. And unfortunately, those of us who are attending the conventions and who are delegates, most especially, are going along with it. So something happened yesterday. It was like a what are those things called again?
What? The committees?
Yeah, the committee, but it was for
the
resolutions. Thank you.
Committee. So
I went to the resolutions committee on somebody's advice because I'd never been to one. And it's where they are voting in advance what they're going to present to us, the delegates, on Sunday. Here's the resolutions. We, as the California Republican Party, want to get behind this, or no, we don't want anything to do with this. And anything that had to do, it seemed like, with President Trump and promoting Christian values, God, family, country kind of values, voted down. And oftentimes it got very contentious. A lot of people shouting and hollering as people are being gavelled out, and this is just what I experienced. And the chair, or the one who was running the committee, would say, the ayes have it, even though it seemed like to the rest of us, the nays definitely were more dominant. Then they would call for a count, and it just went on and on. Parliamentary procedure stuff. What do I know about it? I'm a good old boy from Bakersfield. I'm like, hey, sit down, shut up, listen to this. Is how I would do it, which is not why I'm not running the committee. But something happened yesterday that distressed me, particularly because Republicans that I know and trust and like were getting behind this one resolution, and I was like, that makes no sense. Why are we getting behind something like this? What happened, Mark?
So I'm glad you brought up the distrust you have of the Republican Party, because I think a lot of our voters have the same issue. And yesterday, they brought up a resolution to support California Forever, the 15-minute city in Solano County. Now, this is something that pulls 80-20 across party lines, 80% against, 20% for. Normally, as county chair, it would have been my job to get up there and put a stop to that, because I know my county better than anyone else. Unfortunately, the party decided to move the resolutions meeting up to 1 o'clock when we had our county chairs meeting, so I couldn't be present. So this was going to cruise through, and luckily, two of my committee members, Nicholas Brown and candidate for United States Congress, Rudy RECILE, recognized what was going on. Rudy jumped up, spoke out, put a stop to it, and I really would like to let Rudy talk more about how he did that, because it was really an awesome move on Rudy's part, and I was proud of him.
Yeah, I've actually got video of it.
Yeah. So what happened was when they read the resolution, they read it out to everybody and say, hey, this is what we would like to support. Then they choose two people, one to speak for and one to speak against the resolution, to give everybody, all the people that were in the crowd, the opportunity to understand what are the pros and cons of this particular project. And so one person got up and spoke for the project for California Forever, and was spouting out about how this is a great thing, and if we can do this here and we can speed this project along, we're going to end up supporting President Trump and his goals and his ideas, and this would be a great thing for us to do, because this particular person was also running for office, and she said, Well, and then if they do it there in Solano County, now we can bring it to my city, and we can do it in my city and retrofit my city and get my city all better.
What is it that they're proposing?
Well, okay.
Well, she would want to bring to her city.
So,
because I have my opinion with it.
So California Forever is what they call a smart city or a 15-minute city.
There it is.
Yep.
Which is New World Order, one world government crap. You will own nothing and be happy. That is how it's starting. That is the plan. It's been the plan. A lot of fires that have happened, especially in California, not an accident. And notice they're always in really desirable areas to live. Despite what happens to the population there, they couldn't care less. And what did Governor Dancing Hairdo do when they were first interviewing him? He was giddy. During the Palisade, people's lives and homes were being destroyed. And he's doing a little dance on camera. He's so excited about, I was talking to the governor of Hawaii, and we're going to make this happen. We're going to bring this in. It's going to be going differently here. Saying it. And now all the homeowners can't even get permits approved to rebuild their homes. And they're being charged for cleanup of their own properties. And they're being fined for having weeds grow on the properties that they're not even allowed to go to, a lot of them. It's out of control. And who's to blame ultimately? The voters of California and the apathetic ones on the right who aren't voting or not even registered to vote. I just called you out.
I'd add to that, Charlie. It's the voters, but it's also politicians that don't stand up for what the voters want, that don't truly represent their voters. And that's why it was so beautiful what Rudy did yesterday. Rudy knew this was an 80-20 issue across party lines. He looked at it and said, I'm here to represent the voters of Solano County. I don't care if you're a Republican, no party preference, or if you're a Democrat. And he did that. He stood up and he showed, even before being elected, he was going to fight for his voters, for what they cared about in that county. And we send someone like Rudy to Washington. Oh man, watch out. I'll tell you.
And it's true. Nothing happens. Nothing will change until good people run for office. Good people. And he's running in a district that's flaming blue. And he's making tremendous inroads against a slug that's been there since the 18th century, John Garamendi. And
51 years of service.
51 years of service. I saw the
happy birthday, John.
On Highway 80. Happy 81st birthday, John Garamendi. Thank you for your 51 years.
51 years, a long time to be a lapdog.
51 years of being a lapdog. Great point. And sucking off the system and getting a nice, wealthy paycheck and insider trading deals.
Yep.
Retiring incredibly wealthy. Get out, Garamendi, and people like you, Nancy Pelosi, so on and so forth. And the same for the Republican Party. Mitch McConnell, get out. People like that, I'm done. I'm so done, guys. I really, this whole convention has just fired me up, man.
And that's a good thing.
That's what it's supposed to do.
But I'm watching that billboard and I'm going, my buddy Rudy RECILE is running for that seat. And if Garamendi, here's the trick that the Democrats do. Somebody who's held a seat for a long time and they're afraid that somebody like Rudy might come along or is starting to make inroads, starting to get some traction. And I suggest you go to his website, rudy4uscongress.com, rudy4, uscongress.com. Give him some money. Please help, because the CAGOP isn't.
If you got $8 for the 8th district, that's all you got to give. Just $8 for the 8th district. You can do that once a month from now until November. You know, hey, your money will go a long way.
A tremendous blessing. But the point is, though, about Garamendi, what they'll do is he'll step down before the election. And then instead of holding a special election or anything like that, the governor, and this is what they did. This is what they did with Feinstein.
No. That's because she was a senator. Senators are different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congress people, because this happened in California already. So if a congressperson steps down from their seat, they actually have to hold a special election.
So they can't pull that trick then.
No, they can't pull that trick.
No, but they can run a special election when no one's going to show up to vote and get whoever they want in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where the trick is. So if he steps down, let's say after a year, okay, special elections, people don't show up for it. Just take a look at what happened with Prop 50.
Yeah.
Prop 50, they outvoted us 2-1. just because people didn't get out and vote. And then people are always saying, oh, my vote doesn't count. My vote doesn't count. Well, here's a trick. If your vote doesn't count, then why is it that the last time that I ran against John Garamendi and 5 Democrats, did I still come out top 2? Because people came out and voted. If they hadn't come out and voted, if it was rigged, then why would I not come out top 2? So enough people came out to vote, and their votes counted. And as a result, I came out on the top 2 of the list. So your vote does count. So don't think that your vote doesn't count. We have lost school board races. We have lost city council races
By like
by
5
votes, 10 votes, 50 votes. The entire city of Antioch, the entire city council of Antioch could have been turned over with just 15 votes. That little 15 votes could have flipped the entire city council. I mean, we're talking like each seat, 2 votes here, 3 votes there, 2 votes here, 3 votes there. That's it. That's all it would have taken to flip the entire city council of Antioch. But people say, my vote doesn't count. Your vote counts, and it's additive, and it builds up. So people need to go get out there and vote, and not only vote, but go find 10 friends and bring them out to vote. Send out
an example of how cumulative it can be with just a few people saying, "Oh, well, my vote doesn't count." I think back to the COVID shutdown when there was some rumor going around that there was a shortage of toilet paper. And it was just a few people who thought, I'm going to go buy all the toilet paper I can and screw everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm going to get everything I can out. And they created a shortage of toilet paper.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that as long as I live. This is a deadly virus that was unleashed on us by whomever.
It just shows you how America's changed over the last 90 years. In the 30s, they had runs on the bank.
Uh-huh.
In the 2020s, we have runs on the runs.
It's on the runs. But the point being, if everybody's saying, oh, my vote doesn't count, congratulations. You just made it self-fulfilling.
Yep. Yeah. If you're not voting because you think your vote doesn't count, you're voting.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just don't realize it.
Right.
By not voting, you're allowing someone more incompetent to take that position.
Inaction is inaction.
Yes.
Okay, back to why we started this whole thing, why I wanted to get these guys on. Something happened yesterday in that resolutions committee that I'm sitting there in, and I'm like, these are good people getting up there promoting what sounds to me like a freaking smart city. Why would Republicans be behind this complete communist world domination crap that they've been trying to pull? Why would my fellow conservatives be behind that? And then I see Rudy in line, and he's going to stand up there and he's going to speak. I have no idea. I figured for it because he's friends with these people as well. No, he would not. He went against it.
Please approach the microphone, state your name, and if you have one. My name is Rudy RECILE. I am a candidate for Congressional District 8, where this project is taking place. I highly oppose this project because, number one, Travis Air Force Base, which is very close, which is in Solano County, all of the power lines, fuel lines run under the area that this project has been planning on being developed in. The infrastructure for this project has not been determined yet. It will affect all of California. They will have to widen 2 major roads through the area, rebuild an entire bridge in the area, and on top of that, this is a 50-year project. This is not a project that's going to happen overnight. They're not going to be able to get the infrastructure in there in enough time to meet the timelines that they're looking at. Also, in Solano County, this is a highly opposed project by the people. 80% of the people in Solano County, where I live, and I'm going to represent, oppose this project. There are many, many groups that are standing up to speak out against the time. Thank you.
Yeah, did they know that you were going to vote against the resolution that they wrote and were trying to get everybody to get in agreement with it? Yeah, we all need to get behind smart cities, Republicans.
So it's well known that the Solano GOP is against this. We have a proclamation against it. There's actually a news story by Politico, just a den of right-wing, fanatics, right? They did a story about how the Solano County Republican Party was the main opposition to California Forever and to, as they put it, progress, right? And while I was pretty proud of that, and I want to claim we are, the truth is there's a lot of opposition. We're not the main opposition. We're giving it everything that we got, but there's a lot of opposition from just bipartisan groups, from Democrats, from independents, and of course from us. So they knew. The party knows. It's well known that Solano County, especially the Solano GOP, is against this. Unfortunately, again, I wasn't there to speak up on behalf of the Republicans in Solano County. My apologies. I was obligated to be elsewhere. But Rudy stepped in and he did that for us, represented every Republican in Solano County, but he represented every single voter, or at least 80% of the voters that are against this in Solano County.
And for whatever the reason, right, Rudy? I mean, there's many different reasons why anybody of any particular political influence would be against a project like this. Yeah. One, it smacks of government, tremendous government overreach to me, and it's going to impact the environment. It's going to impact the traffic, ingress, egress. It's going to impact
national defense.
Yep.
National defense with Travis Air Force Base right there. There's gas lines running under there, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, if you want to talk about impacts, another impact to think about here is this thing's backed by a number of extremely wealthy billionaires in the Silicon Valley. You want to talk about impacts, Rudy could use some money in his campaign. Oh, yeah. If he was really just a politician looking out for himself, he'd be on board with this thing quick so he could get those big backers. But Rudy is choosing to represent the people, not the big money.
And believe it or not, they actually approached me. They approached me and said, "Hey, do you want to support California Forever?" And I was just like, no, there's no way I'm going to support California Forever. So the thing about this whole smart city thing is that the Flannery group and all the people involved didn't even go about it the right way. I mean, they really should have impacted the cities within the county first by supporting each of the cities, having test projects, and then boasting about, hey, look at this nice new building that we built. Look at these apartment buildings that we built, this low cost, affordable housing that we built in your cities. Okay. And then by doing that, people are like, oh, the Flannery group, man, they're really nice. They're really good people, you know? And if they had done that and then said, hey, look at the new businesses we attracted, and then say, oh, wow, you're good at it.
To scale.
Yeah, let's, can we scale this up?
They don't have that attitude when they have that kind of money. As Mark explained who the Flannery
group.
Okay.
So it's a number of Silicon Valley billionaires led by Jan Schramek. Jan Schramek grew up in Hungary, behind the Berlin Wall, Iron Curtain. Iron Curtain, that's the word I'm looking for. And he read a lot about California and about California developers like Buck that built Hollywood, things like that, Fremont, the Big Four back in the day, and always had this idea that California was a place where he could make a mark, where he could build his big city that people would be remembered for.
Like a big dog peeing on stuff.
Right? And so when he made his millions, or his billions rather, his real desire, and he said this publicly in many interviews, his desire is his legacy is to be this city in California. And that's what this guy's going for. And that's why it's so hard to oppose this. Normally 5 years, you're not getting it through. You spent millions of dollars, tens of millions even maybe. The people are against it. Most investors would say, let's cut bait and find someplace we're welcome. He's not doing that because his goal is to leave a legacy in Solano County, which good for him. I applaud him for that. The capitalist in me, I love him for that. Problem is, you've got 450,000 people living there that don't want that. We want our own legacy. We want our children to grow up in the homes that we built, the homes that we bought,
this is the kind of stuff they do down in Southern California.
Right.
They have these, what they're called PUDs, planned urban development.
I was thinking more like Soviet Russia, but Southern California is pretty close.
Close to the same thing. But that's huge down in SoCal where we are right now, where they have these just gigantic, they make their own cities.
Yeah.
But they're private builders, actual builders, not people who made a lot of money in the Silicon Valley, pumping out chips or whatever they were pumping each other. There's I meant making each other's chips that they were pumping. But I'll cut all this part out. Anyway,
That's the best part. You can't cut that, Charlie.
This is live. We're live. You can't cut out what's live. That's what makes it fun.
Well, I've got to run, Charlie, but I really want to thank you for doing this today. And I'll let you two continue as you need. But thank you so much for what you did, Rudy, and to represent the people of Solano County.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mark Reed, by the way, where do you find him? He's the chair of the Solano County Central Committee.
And the Solano County website is
SolanoRepublicanParty.com.
SolanoRepublicanParty.com.
Rudy RECILE, that's part of the district that he's running in, 8th District.
Yes.
Rudy4USCongress.com, Rudy4FORUSCongress.com. You didn't know you were going to speak against it until you saw what was actually in it.
Yeah, exactly. Because part of the challenge and part of the problem is that they will bring up these resolutions or these new bylaws or anything that that particular committee is making a decision on, and they will put it up on a big screen. Okay, but I don't know whether it's intentional or not, but sometimes they make it.
Read it. It's a really small print.
Exactly. And they don't even post it to the website. You know, they think it gets posted to the website, but it doesn't get posted to the California GOP website. And they think people had the time to see it. I mean, oftentimes they're saying, oh, well, it was emailed out. And everybody was like, no, it wasn't. We didn't receive it. So we didn't even get a chance to read it. You know, so. But as soon as they said, resolution number 5, California Forever, and then they read the abstract on it, I was just like, okay, who else is here that's going to speak out against this? And then it was just Nick and I. And Nick didn't, he was just like, dude, you need to get up there. So I had intended on getting up there. I was waiting until they called, is there anyone who wants to speak against?
You knew that your friends had written this and they were proposing it.
No, I didn't know that they were proposing it. Just like everybody else. I mean, they submitted it a couple of months ago. It was submitted because there was a deadline. But again, they're supposed to post these out to the website so people can go and see what's being decided upon in each committee. And that wasn't done. And because that wasn't done, nobody in that room, with the exception of the committee members, knew what resolutions were coming up. So as soon as I read it, that's when I got up in order to speak in opposition of the resolution. Because the way it goes is that they give pros and cons. They give 2 opportunities for a pro and a con for for everything that's being decided upon. So once they decide upon that, or once each person gives their opportunity to state whether they're for or against it, then the committee has their opportunity to have a discussion about it. But they didn't know that I was going to get up and speak against it. So
they weren't happy.
No, they were not happy because afterwards, so the result of the vote on it was the motion for the vote was to not move it forward.
Right.
Okay. So, and this is where parliamentary procedures and verbiage makes such a big difference. So the motion was to not move it forward, to quash it, cancel it, whatever you want to call it. And as a result, all of the board members voted yes to quash it. Right. Okay. And that's the confusing part for a lot of people. It was a yes vote. It was a yes vote to quash it.
To stop it, yeah.
To stop it.
Not let it go forward.
Exactly. So that happened. And as a result of that happening, there was a welcome reception later on that evening. And I informed Mark about it. And after I informed Mark about it, I pointed out that one of the people who spoke for the resolution, and he had made a beeline, bam, went to go talk to him, not in a hostile manner, but to explain why Solano County is against this. And Next thing you know, another person came up who was for it and just started railing on Mark, just started railing on him. And Mark talked him off the ledge. And I was like, okay, cool. He talked them off the ledge, calmed them down, and then was hopefully able to get that word out, you know.
Yeah, because we like these folks. I think they're misguided. Or perhaps I'm wrong on this. And am I right to be suspicious of a group of investors, not builders, wanting to put in a smart city, which I'm already dead set against that whole idea. Planned urban development, different story. But this is a smart city where they're going to be putting in they're going to be widening the delta in that area, trying to do shipbuilding there, which failed.
The bad part about it, really,
Island.
The bad part about this really is the fact that, number one, they want to put it out in the middle of nowhere so that the developers can have control over the city itself. I mean,
there's nothing
aspect.
out there now.
No, well, just farmland.
Travis Air Force Base.
No, just farmland. No,
that's it. There's no power out there.
There's no power. There's no water. There's no sewage. There's no pipelines through there. There's no water out there. I mean, there are some natural wells that are already in place where they purchased it, but not nearly the supply. Not enough for the supply for that area. So there is a ton of infrastructure that has to be built even before they start the city. They're going to have to widen the roads because the roads in its current state, they're just country roads. They're not really designed for 80,000 pound trucks to be rolling in there. It's semi trucks.
Anybody who knows the roads out in the Delta area, no way.
Right. There's
already trucks utilizing it in that area. Highway 26, right?
No, it's Highway 12.
12. I'm sorry,
Highway 12 and Highway 113. Yeah. There are trucks that are using it, but not to the extent that they would need to be using it as an increased amount of traffic that would be going on, and it would start slowly tearing up the roads. What does that mean when you start tearing up the roads? They're going to want to put another 1 cent tax on what? On our fuel. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just 1 cent. That's not that big. Just 1 cent.
And after it's paid for, we'll stop the tax.
Right. Exactly. Oh, no. But now we have to increase it 2 cents for maintenance.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Forgot about that. Didn't think
for maintenance, you know. So they're going to have to do that. And we're just talking roads here. Okay. Oh, wait a second. I forgot. The Rio Vista Bridge is a 2-lane bridge. A 2-lane.
And a drawbridge, too.
No, not a draw.
It's not
it's a lift bridge.
Oh, lift. Well, to me, it's all the same. But in other words, all traffic will stop as boats go under. So the whole bridge lifts up so boats can go under, and everybody waits on either side on a 2-lane road.
Yes.
With big, giant trucks.
Exactly. And
no shoulder, by the way.
No shoulder. And so that means that another 10 million, possibly $30 million to build a causeway over the Sacramento River.
Right.
That's what they're going to have to do. So the infrastructure just isn't there for it. And in order to build all of that, that's easily 10 years. Okay, so we're talking a 40-year project.
The county's all for it because look at all that money they're going to make. No, they're not for it.
Nope.
All the people who lived around that area are not for it.
Yeah, no.
Almost overwhelmingly.
The county supervisors, the last county report that came out said no. The county report.
So they're actually listening to the residents?
Yes, exactly. So
nice.
But in the reason why this is so important and why we're talking about here at the convention is because some people think that if Solano County is able to do a 15-minute city and is successful for it, then we can replicate that throughout the state. And how great that would be to have these 15-minute cities throughout the state. Mm-hmm. Thing is, they already have a 15-minute city that's down here in Southern California. And it's not doing so well. It's not doing so well where it's at. And you can interview Melissa Tumim, and she's running for the 36th district. She's a friend of mine. You can interview her and we can find out more on how well that's working in her area. Especially in a place where they don't have a housing shortage. They have an abundance of housing. So, but the whole idea that the reason why these particular Republicans were for it is because they wanted to be able to see their perception is that technology and growth is a good thing because there's a housing shortage across the state. So let's build some more housing. Let's make more affordable housing. But they're not looking at the totality of the project, the totality of the problem, and where it would be best.
I don't think that we as conservatives should ever be behind any kind of a smart city, because I know how much the left loves it and adores it and wants to force it on everybody, as they're trying to do in the Palisades. They're desperately trying to turn that into their little smart city project. Look how great it is, our Star Trek utopia. Everybody wants to be here.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do now in Northern California. But again, it's just a group of investors. They're not even actual builders. It's not like KB Homes is putting
right.
planned urban development or anything like that.
Correct.
I'm suspicious of the whole dang thing. Am I off base?
No, you're not off base, and the people are not off base either. I mean, the people of Solano County, and it's not just Solano County, and that's why when I got up there to speak, and I said I represent the 8th district. This is my district. This is the entirety. So the 8th district goes from Richmond all the way up the I-80 corridor, all the way up to Davis. Okay. And then you follow Route 160 coming out of Sacramento in Yolo County. You follow that down all the way down around to Lodi, and then Highway 12 all the way back into Solano County. Okay. That's 5 counties. That's in my district alone. Okay. And those 5 counties and it's not just those 5 counties that'll be affected. Okay. I mean, there are more that are in the surrounding area, because where is the money for the roads going to come from? Mm-hmm. Where's the money for the infrastructure going to come from? Where's the money for the water going to come from? What farmers in the area are going to be affected by this? So there's so much more than just doubling the size of Solano.
And that
County.
bothers me as well. Most of these developers who go in and put a planned urban development like that, they have to improve the roads. That's just part of the deal. The county or the city or whomever is all involved with the zoning. We want sidewalks through here. We want street lights through here. It's the developer that has to figure that into the cost, and they have to take care of that. But this is a freaking government project, basically, that they're proposing, isn't it?
Well, it's
county, state, and federal involved.
Exactly.
Especially the federal with Travis Air Force Base. Right
and
there.
What happens when you get local, state, and federal involved? That's fascism. That's a public-private partnership.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
I don't want that.
Exactly.
And I was surprised that any other Republican would.
Well, I think part of the problem is that people don't understand what the different parts of Marxism is. You know, that socialism is the beginnings of it's just the beginnings.
Communist light.
Well, it's communist light, exactly. Mm-hmm. And communism is the ultimate goal of socialism. Mm-hmm. You know, and fascism is just allowing you to have your business, but guess what? I'm going to tell you how to run your business. Okay. And, Nazism is, you know what? Thank you for having your business, but you know what? We're taking over. You know, you're going to still be there, but oh, wait a second. You're a white dude. Okay. So we're going to let you have that. But Rudy's Asian. I'm not the right type of race. So guess what? You can't have your business.
That's the Nazism.
That's the Nazism. So, and
it's all fascism, as you said.
No, it's all socialism or Marxism. It's all Marxism. But my point being is that oftentimes people don't take the time. They don't take the time to learn about what the difference is with these different forms of government is. and that ultimately capitalism is, is a free society, a free society, free market is the best way to go. Let the market decide how much something costs.
And that's what I thought Republicans were behind.
Yes. And they should be. They should be.
I would think so.
Yeah. But oftentimes when you shiny object, this is better, right? I mean, Republicans have iPhones. Is it better? I couldn't tell you, but I don't have an iPhone. And there's multiple different types of phones out there. But my point being is that shiny object, this is cool, this is new, let's go do that thing, not realizing that thing might not be so good.
Well, I am very happy that you spoke against that, because once I realized what it was that was being proposed, I'm glad it did not pass the committee. It did get voted down, which is one of the few good things that I saw that committee do.
But that's just step one.
That's only step one, okay?
So tomorrow...
All that was, by the way, was just a proposal to say that we as the California Republican Party are all behind this.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
Well, yes, in the committee. Correct.
Yeah,
now the entire body has got to vote on it, and that'll happen on Sunday.
Oh.
So we're not done with this yet. We're not done with this yet. So now they're going to bring, what's the next step is they're going to bring up the committee report and says the committee recommends no, yes, whatever is going to be brought up. And then the body has the opportunity to pull any one of those resolutions for further discussion by the body.
Or to table it for discussion at the next convention.
No, they won't be able to do that.
Okay.
They won't be able to do that. So,
I'm learning all this. I'm really new to whole being on the inside of how the politics work, with either party. And, they're both pretty much the same. We just are supposedly, pushing and promoting Republican values, which is God, family, country. And, let's get behind our president.
Yeah.
That's basically it, isn't it?
Yep. That's what it boils down to. And speak up. If you don't like something, say something, go to your school board, go to your city council meeting, go to your county supervisors meeting. If you don't like something, speak up about it. And you don't have to know everything about politics. Just pay attention to what's most important to you. If the thing that bothers you most is, the books that your children are reading in school, go to a school board meeting and say something about it. Okay. If you're worried about, boys and girls sports, go to your school board about it. Okay. Let's say that, they're deciding to put in bicycle lanes, down the street where that it would really
Traffic's already really crowded because it's a narrow roadway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to your city council meeting and speak up about it. I mean, just pay attention to what concerns you most regarding your city, your town, whatever. And that's the most effective place that you can be.
Local action equals national impact.
Exactly. That's
a great local action for Northern Californians in the Solano County area and those other 5 counties in District 8 are to actually vote for somebody who's got your values. Even if you've been voting on the left for all these years and you look around and you're like, I need to move out. It's kind of crazy here. I don't want to stay here. Well, take responsibility for that. How have you been voting all this time? And do something different. What have you got to lose? So, Rudy, I want you to win. I definitely do.
Yeah.
Rudy4USCongress.com if you can help him out financially too, because I guarantee you the Democrats are definitely propping up all their candidates. And John Garrett, well, Garamendi's not even going to run again.
He's running. No, he's running.
Shut up.
Yep. This time around, I am up against John Garamendi, and 3 other Democrats.
So there you go.
And you know what? Just remember, your vote
one
counts.
Republican choice.
Your vote counts. Actually, not just a Republican. I got to represent everybody.
Yeah,
I got to represent everybody. So keep that in mind when you go to the polls and tell your friends. Send out 10 emails, send out 10 social media posts, Send out, 10 postcards, go knock on 10 doors and ask everybody that you sent it to do the same thing. And if you're able to do that, just think of the impact that you would have. Just 10 things.
And you want to walk the precincts, as they say. Rudy could use some volunteers too.
Yeah.
All at rudy4uscongress.com. That's Rudy, FOR, for uscongress.com.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, partner, so much for your time.
You're welcome.
And I'm Charlie Simons. This is Do Not Talk. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, America, bless God. I have to wait for you. There you go. He outranks me.